Hello aviation fans and the just curious. Today's episode is about an aircraft with two histories and one airframe. If you stand beneath the shark-mouthed P-40E Warhawk suspended at the Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy Center, you are actually looking at two different histories superimposed upon a single machine. One is a story painted in the skin, a tribute to a legendary American ace in China. The other is the story hidden in its metal, a chilling tale of survival from the frozen tundras of the Aleutian Islands. The aircraft now known as Lope's Hope rolled off the Curtiss Wright assembly line in Buffalo, New York in late 1941. It was not originally intended for the U.S. Army Air Forces. Instead, it was built as a Kitty Hawk Mark I Alpha, the export designation for a P-40E, destined for the Royal Air Force under the Lend-Lease Act. However, the war's shifting tides saw it diverted to the Royal Canadian Air Force. It was given the serial number Alpha Kilo 875 and assigned to the number 111 Squadron, a unit tasked with a mission far removed from the tropical dogfights often associated with the P-40, defending the western coast of Canada and the U.S. territory of Alaska against Imperial Japan. In the summer of 1942, the Aleutian Island campaign was heating up. Japan had invaded the islands of Attu and Kiska, marking the only military campaign of World War II fought on North American soil. On July 13, 1942, Alpha Kilo 875 was being flown by Flight Lieutenant Robert W. Lynch. He was piloting the aircraft on a ferry flight to Unmak Island, the forward operating base for the Aleutian Defense. The squadron needed to refuel at a rough airstrip at Neck, Alaska. As Lynch came in to land, the P-40 ground looped a violent, uncontrolled spin on the ground that damaged the landing gear and underbelly. Lynch was unhurt, but the aircraft was unflyable. He was forced to stay behind while the rest of his squadron pressed on. That mechanical failure saved his life. Shortly after taking off without Lynch, 5 of his squadron's other P-40s flew into a heavy fog bank. Blinded by the weather, they crashed into the side of a mountain on Unalaska Island. All 5 pilots were killed. Alpha Kilo 875 survived solely because it had crashed before the tragedy occurred. With the war over, the Royal Canadian Air Force declared Alpha Kilo 875 surplus in 1946. Like thousands of other warbirds, it was sold off and passed through civilian hands in the United States. For nearly 2 decades, it lived a quiet, obscure life, eventually ending up in the possession of an Explorer Scout unit in Meriden, Mississippi. Recognizing the historical value of the airframe, the Scouts donated the aircraft to the Smithsonian Institution in 1964. It was airlifted by a C-119 by the United States Air Force to Andrews Air Force Base in Maryland for storage and restoration. In 1975, the aircraft underwent a complete restoration. Rather than returning it to its original Royal Canadian Air Force Aleutian markings, which was historically obscure at the time, the museum chose to finish the aircraft in the colors of the 75th Fighter Squadron, 23rd Fighter Group, the direct descendants of the Flying Tigers. This paint scheme was chosen to honor Colonel Donald S. Lopez, a World War II ace and the Deputy Director of the National Air and Space Museum. Lopez had flown P-40s in China and was instrumental in the museum's history. The nose art, Lope's Hope, is a personal nod to him. Today, the P-40 hangs in the Udvar-Hazy Center, its shark teeth grinning at visitors. While its paint honors the human battles of China and the legacy of Don Lopez, its airframe silently holds the memory of Robert Lynch and the Aleutian Tigers, who flew and fell in the fog of the far north. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and please take time to watch my other videos about our museum displayed aircraft.